Welcome. My name's David Bailey. I'm a life coach, and today I'm joined with a good friend of mine, Ferenc, who he doesn't like me saying this, but he's an artist and a very creative person who I've been good friends with since I first moved to Thailand. So welcome. Good to have you here, Ferenc.
Hi, mate. Nice to see you. Greetings from the little birdhouse in Phuket. You've been here before.
I have,
We've
yeah.
yeah, we collaborated on a painting together as well, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, mate. We were throwing paint all over the place.
Yeah, that was great. It actually just popped up. That was like a year ago, almost to the day.
Today,
Yeah,
it popped up on my Facebook feed, and he was like, "Oh man, so auspicious. Dave's
yeah,
gonna give me a call today and give me an interview and ask me about lots of things, and I'll probably not give all the right answers, and I'll go off at a tangent somewhere else."
yeah, yeah. It popped up on my feed as well. So yeah, very fortuitous that we get to speak today. So, Ferenc, because I know well, currently you're an artist, you paint a lot, especially you've been very productive during lockdown. Um, but I think it'd be great to hear a little bit about your life because I know you've had many iterations of Ferenc over the years, and it wasn't always the case that you were painting and doing yoga and this kind of stuff. So could you talk a little bit about how you got to this point where you decided to uh, jack in the corporate world and become a painter?
Okay.
I
Um,
know it's a long journey, so maybe the English version.
I'm good. I just don't want to bore your your viewers, But let's,
Yeah,
I left the UK in 1992, seeking my fortune, and I was looking for other things, looking for a different type of life. Yeah, and I went to Lanzarote and I lived there, then Tenerife, and then I went to Manila, and then I went to Bangkok, and then I went to Taiwan, and then I went to Pakistan, and then I went to um, Thailand, and I went to Bali, and I went to um, um, uh, Beijing, and a number of other places. And basically, I've lived and worked in 10 countries. So I've had more lives than the cat. And a lot of the time, I've been, I mean, I've stood on the side of the street, being a ticket tout. Uh-huh.
hmm
Then I've run operations where I've had like nearly 300 people working for me as the main director with the suit and all that kind of stuff. So I've had a very interesting journey over these so many years, yeah. Um, and I mean, there's a big story in there, but I wouldn't want to go into detail there. There's no real need. But I'm travelled.
Yeah. And what was I guess, the pivotal moment from deciding actually I've had enough of that kind of lifestyle and I want to do something more for myself or more artistic? Yeah, what happened? How did you reach that point?
But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you don't just decide to do something else. There are certain factors that come into play. And I think I'd moved around so much and worked in, different corporate. I always refer to, like, I've worked with all the sociopaths and all of the crazy people. You want to get your targets. They want to pressure you. The company cultures and are out of sync. And I could never get it right for, never feel totally comfortable in a lot of companies. Yeah, and maybe it's just me, but I was always, all I want is peace, and to live in this world in a very comfortable way and enjoy what I do. Yeah. So I got to this stage whereby I felt as though I was running out of gas and I was tired. And I
And
came to Phuket, and I came to Phuket, and you know, I was offered a particular job in Phuket. And I said to the guy, I said, listen, you know what? Right, I'm willing to do this particular job. I'll put the suit on, right, and I'll do everything that you want me to do, yeah? But let me just tell you, right, you know, my patience is sort of there, yeah? So please don't mess around with me. Uh-huh.
Mm.
And anyway, it didn't really work out. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm kind of tired of all of this, yeah? And I just said to the guy, okay, bye-bye, I'm going. And I went to my house, and I'd already been painting a while, started to paint, you know, paint more, paint more, paint more, paint more, yeah. And it sort of kind of evolved, you know, then people started to ask me, oh, are you selling your paintings? Well, not really, but, you know, if you want to buy one, yeah. So
That,
I kind of got, how would I say, I got tired of stuff. I started to do stuff for myself that I enjoyed. And then it sort of turned into a little business for me, yeah? So I'm almost self-sufficient at this point, but, you know, nothing's stable, is it, yeah, in this world?
yeah. And just for the people watching, it was you were working in the hotelier game. That was the industry that you were primarily based in, right?
Well, that and others, yeah, that and others, yes. So varied, really, yeah.
Mm.
But yes, you know, basically, the last person I was working with wanted to build a hotel, and, you know, so yeah. Very, very varied stuff, yeah. You know.
Yeah, and I just because that I know we both have mutual friends in that industry, and it's very busy and high pressured. So I can understand why it would be something that you might want to transition out of.
I think, well, yes, of course. And I love art, and I'm really passionate about it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's not work to me, you know. It's just getting on with it. Yeah, we can, you know, just enjoy it. I like the idea of, like, you know, just creating something you don't even know what it's going to be, and just and paint, and something comes up. Yeah, it's like, oh, right, okay, that's all right. Sometimes it's really crap, so I'll just paint over it. Yeah,
that's the
but
thing. Yeah,
yeah, you know, and then something else will come up, you know, and then it's like, oh, that's kind of good. Then other people will look at it and they'll enjoy looking at it. You know, it's like shit. I call it energy work, actually. It's energy work, you know.
yeah, and that's one thing I really wanted to speak to you about is that you have a very particular way of working that well, I had not personally come across, and it was because we met. We were both doing some volunteering for the semi on vacation, the breast cancer charity work, where you were doing the yin yoga, I was doing the life
Yeah.
coaching and running the workshops for the women on that. And you mentioned that
That
the
was great, wasn't it? That was
that was
great.
brilliant. That was fantastic. I love that. That was also about literally just over a year ago when we were doing that together.
All those brave ladies, breast cancer survivors, and, you know, came together. They'd been through so many things, and I know you coached a lot of them, and I enjoyed doing the yin yoga with them. It was so satisfying, you know.
Yeah,
And we still have good friends with these people. Yeah, of course. Yeah, in
that,
Australia and New Zealand.
yeah, that was a wonderful trip. I that was like literally well, not the last one, but the one before, which was I guess about almost 2 years ago when we first met, and we have a mutual friend, and he was like, I've got a guy. He's a friend of mine. He's an artist. He's a yoga guy, and he's coming in, and yeah, it was a great trip for both of us, I think. And
Yeah.
the and you mentioned that you were doing this art, and you called it the No Mind Project. And because I have a background in doing hypnotherapy and like interesting in the subconscious and the conscious, so that really piqued my interest. And I remember you talking about it, and I was still yeah, it was hard for me to kind of comprehend until I actually saw you in action. But could you talk a little bit about what or how that came
Mm.
about?
Right. Okay. First of all, I just want to make it really clear. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to painting. I mean, I never know what I'm doing. Yeah. All right. Okay. And but what I do know is I've I've got an idea, right, of how I like to work, and I like to work in the present. Now, we both like Eckhart Tolle and his, teachings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've found that he's been extremely helpful to me over the years, many years, where I've been studying and studying, going in and going in and going in into his books and listening to him, So the only thing that we have is the present moment. Okay, this is what I'm leading up to now with it. So the project's this. Okay, so it's a no-mind art project, and really basically what that means is if I've got a blank canvas, it's there, it's blank. I might have an idea of colors I want to use. You've seen my work, a lot of it's kind of like very abstract. I don't want to paint a direct tree or like a direct beach, whatever. I want to paint something that has some maybe energy in it, and it might look like a tree a little bit, but it's not like a full copy of a tree, for example.
Yeah.
Right. So I've got a blank canvas there, and I don't know what's going to happen. And if I try to plan what's going to happen, then it kind of all goes to pot. So I've learned that like all I need to do is just get in on the moment, start putting paint, start doing stuff, just go with the flow. And then sooner or later, things start to happen, and it's like, oh, that looks quite nice there. That looks okay there. Splatter, right? That looks okay there. That's not too bad there. And I'll just try and work directly in the moment. And I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about, am I going to make something? I'm just there. Just there. And that's what I mean by a no-mind art project. Yes, I'm using my mind, but I'm not kind of, in the stream of thought anywhere. I'm just in it. I'm just there. And when I get there, when I'm there, and there's no fear there at that point. Then you're inclined, when you've got to that point, you might have painting in front of you that's half done, it looks all right, but you'll just go, bong, I'm going to put that there, boom, I'll put that there, and bang, I'll put that there, yeah, bang, bang. And you just kind of follow it, or you're in it. You don't follow, you're in it. And then it kind of like, it's like, rather than standing back going, oh, well, I tell you what, if I put a bit of yellow there, will that be all right? Can't do that, It's a bang, get in with it, bang, go on with it. And then it tends to, a lot of the time it comes out really, really interesting. Yeah, as to say, other times it doesn't. Yeah, so a no-mind art project is in the moment, not thinking, not in the stream of thought.
Yeah, that's very unique, at least as far as I'm aware. And I remember when we worked on the piece together, and I wasn't sure exactly how you worked, and so I had some ideas before what maybe something like this, and you're like, yeah, just get the paint. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna plan like, and you just like, no, let's just mix it. And it wasn't until I really saw you in action, or like, I mean, I was collaborating, I was part of that experience that I kind of got, oh, okay, I get it. It's not, there isn't a plan. It's just like, let's do what happens spontaneously and try and let it evolve almost organically with what is happening, how we're feeling, or what the chaos that is happening on the canvas.
And it's liberating.
It is, yeah. It was almost therapeutic, because I from what you said, to me, what it resonates to me is it's almost like a meditation of just like, now is the only time we're here. We're now. There's no future. There's no past, and I'm just present to whatever is emerging on the canvas.
Yes,
And
exactly. It's a meditation.
how did this evolve? Because I presume that this wasn't like your first, how you started painting. I've not heard people just like, oh, this is, you don't get taught this in art school. So how did you, how did you get to that stage? Because I presume you were perhaps doing more kind of classical style painting before, or what happened?
Well, all right, that's it. I've always had a fondness for art, and I've always enjoyed, but not fanatical, yeah.
Hmm.
And I'd spent some time a number of years ago doing, little paintings here with with a nice beach and a sunset and stuff like that. And it's kind of good. It takes a long time though.
Yeah.
It was quite good. Anyway, I don't know how, but I came across Pollock, Jackson Pollock. I do like Pollock, yeah.
Hmm.
And I saw what he was doing, which is called action painting. Uh-huh. And love him or hate him, yeah, because some people, but apparently, he's like, well, he was the major artist of the 20th century in the US of A, yeah, in the world, if not. Anyway, I liked what he was doing because I haven't got the patience to, you know, okay, put that line there and put that, other people have got that patience and they've got that love of doing that. I haven't. I just want to bang. I just want to do it quick. I
Hmm.
want to create, and then I want to stand back and look, and then I want to create again. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Pollock thing just sort of, was something that was fascinating for me. Yeah. Now I've done Pollocky type paintings, but I also do all different types of paintings too. I'll do poor paintings, or I'll do big faces, or I'll do like internal warrior,
Yeah.
or I'll do stuff with butterflies, and I'll do, but it's the same principle all the time. I don't want to overthink it, and I like to move fast.
Yeah. So was
I
you
like,
aware of how Pollock worked, or was it you
well,
just
no,
saw his
no.
pictures and you were like, oh, okay, he must have done this, this, and this, or
I think at first I saw his pictures and went, oh wow, okay, yeah, right, I could do that,
yeah,
right, but but I think I just saw his, and then I looked more into it. I suppose, I was like maybe watch some documentaries and stuff and what have you, and got an interest in that.
mm,
So okay, I remember making a painting once, actually a couple of years back. Bought a friend of mine bought it, yeah, and I made this painting, and then I was looking at Pollock later, and I saw a painting that was very similar to the painting I'd made. It was
yeah,
bizarre.
I
So
see.
anyway, so of course I put it on Facebook, yeah, because that's where I'm mostly showing my paintings, yeah. And
Mm.
I put the original Pollock and my painting. One's a Pollock, one's a Ferenc, yeah. Well, that was the start of the sales. Because
Nice.
people didn't know, people didn't, because they don't know, but they didn't know yet. But the painting was very nice. I'm not saying it was Pollock standard. Don't misunderstand that yet.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, evolves. Everything evolves. Everything evolves.
Yeah, and
No,
one of the cool things that when we did our thing together that I was struck by was the way you work. The techniques are pretty innovative, and like, do you like, for example, I think we were using a balloon. We did the paint pour, and I know like you've like done scratching, like lots of different techniques. And is that something that just happens spontaneously, or does it like you get a bit bored and you're like, oh, I want to try something different, or how does that happen?
it's spontaneity,
Yeah.
right? It's sometimes you see stuff on the internet. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
I could use a balloon for example. Yeah,
Yeah.
um, but often I'll take things that are at hand.
Mm.
Might even take my hands. I use a brush, but I might just use my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I or I might get some plastic paper. A plastic bag, and crunch it up and bang it on. I'll just use things at hand, just how I feel. Oh, that's a good idea. We'll try that. Why don't we try that? Why don't we try that? Just try. Just this. It's about not having any fear. You know, it's about just getting on with it and how it feels at the time. Yeah. So anything can come to hand, and it's quite funny, you know. Yeah. So don't leave your sneakers lying around.
No, I won't. No. And I like what you say about not having any fear, because I think just from anyone that's creating something, whether it's an art, whether it's some piece of writing that you've done, or a video, or um, any kind of piece of work, there's always a thing like, sometimes people get some trepidation about, I don't want to ruin, it needs to be like this. And the fear of experimentation, was that something that you always had when you was painting, or even in your daily life, or has that developed?
Okay. The spontaneous thing and having no fear is where I would say that the creativity that's where it comes from. It's from the source. I see it as a transference of energy in a way. Okay, and I'll put energy into the paintings, yeah, and somehow that's what's going on, I believe. But also, if we look at our daily lives and ourselves, so where does the thought come from? You know, where did that come from? Yeah, where did that come from? And a lot of things we do are spontaneous, yeah. But then the thing that gets in the way is like, what will people think? Oh, will I get that wrong? Yeah. Now when you can see certain things get laboured and forced, yeah. And we just get in a mind trap about it all. Yes, if you're writing, you've got to get the right thing going, yeah. Right, you know, you might have to correct it later, but sometimes it's better if you're writing just to flow, 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 flow. And we tap into the subconscious. We're aware, and I think this is where how the creative thing happens. Yeah, I think we all have it. We all have. People say, "Oh, I couldn't be an artist, or I couldn't do that, or I couldn't do that." You know, I don't buy that story. I think everyone can. You know, we all could exceed in certain things, right? But we're all capable of much more than we know. We're just limited in our conditioning and our so-called beliefs, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Did I ramble?
No, that makes sense. I get what you're saying there, and I think that it's true that when you're in the now or in the present, as best you can, because it's not an easy thing. The potential to create more, the potential to connect more as well with other people is that much greater, because there isn't the thoughts and the fear getting in the way. Or if there is fear, it's that you may be aware of it, but you're not like in the grip of it.
Mm.
And
Mm.
how has this really like affected you on a personal level? Because I imagine just it must be a very different kind of lifestyle that you're living now compared to how you were living, and how has that affected you personally?
Well, it's not like you just jack everything in and then you do something else and everything's just hunky dory.
Yeah.
You know, you know, it's been quite the journey over the last couple of years, and I'm still on it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I think although it's been a strain at times, you know, because selling paintings, making art and selling your art is not probably the wisest thing for somebody to do, really, at the end of the day, you know. But I'm just looking for a comfortable life, yeah. There's a little bit more coming in than going out, yeah. So, but right, to the question, put me back on track again.
So the question was about how your lifestyles changed because,
Yeah, our lifestyles changed and everything
for
changed.
example, you had a very stable, like you had a stable income. You had, of
Yeah,
course, I'm sure there were things going on, but the
yeah,
relative stability within an office. There's a hierarchy.
yeah,
There's what you have to
yeah,
do, um,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
bang, you're on your own. Uh,
yeah,
Money's not coming in regularly. There's no
yeah,
plan. There's nobody saying get this done at this time. And
yeah, yeah.
so how did that
Oh,
affect you?
all right, okay. So no more fancy restaurants.
Mm,
It's quite, sometimes, yeah, but I've had to readjust a lot of things, and I'm happy to do that actually. Yeah, I have no need for a nice big house and a swimming pool. Have no need for watches. Have no need for buying lots of new things or whatever. I've got that's sort of quite kind of out of the way. I live quite simply, and I'm happy to do that too. Yeah, now I've kind of adjusted to that because it's a lot of stuff goes with that, like Eckhart, present moment, the yoga, the art. So it sort of fits in quite well. So yeah, things have changed, and things have changed positively. Although it's been a little bit, a bit stressful at times, not knowing yet. I might go like 2 months and nobody's bought a painting. I'm like. I used to be quite manic,
mm,
but now I kind of let it, what will be will be. I'm okay, yeah, it's fine. It's like, you know, let it go, yeah. Because what's the point in worrying all the time? And I've done that in the past, and even if you're in a secure situation, people just worry. Find things to worry about. And so I think I kind of got to the point where I thought, you know what, right. I'm still alive and breathing. It's all right. Yeah.
yeah,
And I've surprised myself actually. I've surprised myself actually. Yeah. That I've managed to kind of like uh, cope with that, control it. It is what it is. And once that kind of thing happened, then all of a sudden, other things started to happen. You know, more buyers come along. Other opportunities come along.
mm,
Different stuff. Yeah. So big changes, lots of changes, but positive changes and a simpler life, and I like it better. And then I've just got myself to deal with. Yeah.
yeah. And how did you also deal with being because the lifestyle that you're living right now is a bit more solitary compared to working in a team and to being in that kind of thing. Was that something you wanted, or was that difficult at times, or
Nah.
how was that experience, or how is that experience?
I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that I can spend quite a bit of time on my own and be very good about it.
Mm,
And it's all good. I don't need to be making appointments to meet people every day. I've always been a little bit that way anyway. I'm very social when I'm in the social situation, but I don't need to be having a social situation all of the time. And working in environments has always been good. I've always enjoyed it, depending on the environment. I mean, in a lot of the cases, I was in charge of the environment, so I would set the environment in the most positive way over the last years where I could. Um, but I don't kind of. I mean, I could go into a place tomorrow and have an environment that's nice with people if I was running it, for example, right? And that would be okay and that'd be fine.
yeah.
But I don't miss. I don't miss. I don't really miss stuff. I don't. I mean, say I wake up in the morning and I say, all right, okay, you've woken up. I woke up. I don't set my alarm clock anymore.
Mm,
And I wake up when I wake up. If I wake up early, I wake up late. It's kind of okay, right? Yeah, right. What are you going to do today? Well, I'm not quite sure. Or I've got to get on with this. I've got to get on with that. I might not paint for 2 days, 3 days, and then I might just go mad painting, and I'll paint through the night. So I, it's basically I'm basically I'm quite free at this point. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
all in the bag. Nothing's stable. You know, things can change. But I like this kind of non-structured thing. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think every day and also as well, but every day I will do so. You know, I'm living with the work. I'm living with the whole thing. Yeah, it's
Mm.
all part of it. Yeah, it's not like there's a studio over there. Then I leave at 5 o'clock and I get here. No, I've got it in my bedroom. I've got it in this room. I've got it in that room. You know, it's all around me. Yeah, so you know, it's always it's ever present. Yeah, if I'm not painting, I'm thinking something to do with creating.
Yeah. And the
And I
cool
want,
thing
and I want
about,
to. Sorry.
I was going to say, the cool thing that your house has become like a living work of art.
Yeah, yeah, it's the you know it's all over the place. Yeah, I mean there's paintings left, right, and centre. The whole thing, you know, and the whole the place is called the Little Birdhouse. Yeah, it sort of matches with all of the art too. You know, so yeah, the place has been funkied up.
It definitely has, yeah. And you've started letting people in, like, because I remember when I came, I was like, oh, you should open this as a gallery. Like, this is going to be, they're going to love it. And I know you have more recently started. Uh, well, people have been coming to view the art and such.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do. They come. Yeah, I get visitors. They come and have a look around. Some come and buy. Some just come and have a look. Some come. I've got clients who do yin yoga. Come and do yin yoga here.
yeah,
They all set the settings kind of good. Yeah, So I've got a little gallery, but I convert it into a yin yoga studio too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Very cool. And what do you have any things coming up like that? Any projects? Like, I know you're a very spontaneous kind of person, but is there any galleries or places like projects that you have coming up that you can talk about?
Well, I'm very lucky because I was spotted by a chappie who's got a really nice gallery called Soul of Asia, and in this gallery he's got Andy Warhol stuff,
Nice.
and Salvador Dali stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and all kinds of wonderful paintings. Yeah. So not so long back, not so long ago, he saw my paintings and asked me to put my paintings into his gallery, which I was very happy about.
Mm.
So I've got a few other places where I'm putting the paintings, but there are.
Whereabouts is that? Whereabouts is that?
Oh, sorry, that Soul of Asia is in Phuket. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Very well known, very high end actually. I've got put one of my paintings next to an Andy Warhol limited edition, which is for
Yeah.
sale at $98,000, and I've got one of my paintings next to it. My painting is not $98,000, yeah. But I was so happy to have my paintings in a place like that, asked to go in by a very well respected art collector, and
Mm.
art dealer. So that's very, very nice, yeah. And there are a number of other places where I put the paintings. I put them into like a gallery cafe in Phuket town, and they're on the wall there, so people can go and have a dinner, or what they're doing, the art, the art's there, and people can buy it from there. And
Yeah.
I've got a restaurant. I'm talking to a few other people, like other hotels, but obviously Phuket, with the current situation, there ain't no tourists, yeah. So the
Yeah.
hotel thing is a bit, but I do markets as well. I do a market, I just like to get out. I
Yeah.
think everything's exposure. What I'm doing is I'm just doing art. It's positive. I'm sharing energy. If people see something and they like it, I've done my job. Share the joy. And I just need to continue to get the exposure. The more
Yeah.
exposure that I get, the more people might. If you just look at a painting that I post on Facebook and you look at it for a minute and half a minute or 30 seconds, and you get a little smile and you get a nice feeling. That's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And if people want to reach you or want to see some of your work, where's the best place for them to find you?
Well, you can find me if you put a link on this
I
on
will. Yeah.
Facebook, WhatsApp. I do Instagram too. you know. But a lot of this posts I put on Facebook, yeah. But I do Instagram too, yeah. So you can put the links if you want to, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
will.
would love people to follow me, you know. I mean, this is the little birdhouse. It's in Phuket. I create art. I put videos up, slow motion videos of art with music and paintings up, and just odds and ends about what I'm doing here with this life
Mm.
here, and I'm sharing it, and I like people to see it. I want to put a bit of joy out there. I'm not a hippie. I'm not naive, either, but a little bit of joy. There's so much stuff that's going on that isn't constructive to our well-being, I don't think. So I want to share what I'm doing with people.
Yeah, cool. So I'll put a link in the description below if anybody wants to check out Ferenc's work. You can
Yeah,
see that there's a lot of stuff online, and I know you also
thank you.
sell like internationally as well. So
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
just
check
sent
it
I
out.
just sent some paintings to Puerto Rico the other day.
Nice, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your time, Ferenc. It's been good chatting to you.
Hey, I much appreciate it. Sorry if I waffled on too much. It's so good to see you. It's always great to see you. And, you know, lots of love, mate. You know what I mean?